Willawarrin is a small village located near Kempsey on the mid-north coast of New South Wales, Australia. Surrounded by farms and state forests, it offers a tranquil rural setting. In September of 2004, the community was shaken by the mysterious disappearance of Kylee-Ann Schaffer. After attending a party in Willawarrin, she was last seen walking into nearby bushland, never to be seen or heard from again. Despite extensive searches, no trace of her was found, and her case remains unsolved. Kylee-Ann Schaffer was a vibrant and compassionate 19-year-old from Bellbrook, a small town northwest of Kempsey. Known for her ever-present smile, kind heart and selfless nature, she was deeply cherished by her family and friends. Kylie had completed her education at Kempsey High School and had recently embarked on her journey into adulthood by moving into her own place in town. She worked at Charcoal Chicken, where her warm demeanour endeared her to both colleagues and customers alike. Her mother, Sue-Ann Schaffer, fondly remembered her as a loving and caring individual who always prioritised others' needs before her own. On the evening of September 10th, 2004, 19-year-old Kylie attended a party at a residence on Wilson's Lane, just outside of Willawarrin. Witnesses from the gathering reported that the following morning, around 8 a.m. after eating breakfast and taking a shower, Kylie announced her intention to walk through the bushland to reach her parents' home in Midnight Creek. This decision was notably uncharacteristic, as she had never undertaken such a walk before and would typically call her parents if she needed a ride. The trek itself was challenging, involving rugged terrain that would have been difficult to navigate on foot. What seemed like a simple, though unusual, walk home through dense bush has since spiralled into one of mid-North Coast's longest-standing mysteries, marked by grief, unanswered questions, and a family's ongoing pursuit for justice and closure. By lunchtime on September the 11th, concern grew among the party attendees when Kylie had not returned. They initiated a search of the property and subsequently alerted the authorities. A comprehensive land and air search ensued, involving approximately 70 SES and RFS volunteers, search dogs, horseback riders, Paul Air, family and friends. Despite covering around 80 square kilometres of challenging terrain, including Armadale Road and the surrounding bushland, no trace of Kylee-Ann was found. The only item discovered was a pair of shoes found on a walking track days after the area had already been searched. It was unclear whether these shoes even belonged to Kylie. No other trace of her has ever been found. The official search concluded on September the 16th, but her loved ones continued their efforts for months afterwards, desperately seeking any sign of her. The early investigation into Kylie's disappearance was hampered by a lack of immediate media coverage and public awareness. At the time, her family did not pursue a public campaign to raise awareness. Her father, Peter Schaffer, chose to keep a tight lid on the information surrounding her disappearance. He feared that media coverage would cause any potential suspects to, quote, go to ground, escaping scrutiny and making it harder to bring them to justice. Kylie's older sister, Karen Kaz Schaffer, then 32, was discouraged from getting involved. Working full-time in Sydney and distanced both physically and emotionally from the epicentre of the search, Kaz felt helpless. She later expressed regret that she didn't defy her father's wishes and push harder for public engagement at the time. Quote, "I can't understand why we weren't shouting this, Kylie's disappearance, from the rooftops," Kaz later said. The decision to stay silent weighed heavily on Kaz, especially as the years passed without any answers. For over a decade, the story of Kylie's disappearance remained largely dormant in the public eye. But in 2009, Kaz, against her father's wishes, created a Facebook page titled "Help Find Kylee-Ann Schaffer." Though initially slow to gain traction, it laid the foundation for what would eventually become a powerful grassroots campaign. When Peter passed away in 2015, Kaz finally felt free to speak openly and take control of the narrative. The real turning point came about 18 months before a 2021 interview when Kaz was handed a copy of the police statements connected to Kylie's case. These documents, which she had never been allowed to see, were a revelation, to say the least. Quote, "Seeing the statement changed everything for me." Contrary to her understanding at the time of the disappearance, Kylie had reportedly been involved in altercations at the party. Witnesses gave conflicting accounts, not only about her clothing. Some said she wore black pants, others brown, but also about when and how she left the party. One person allegedly screamed at Kylie during the night, quote, "Nobody fucking likes you anyway, and no one wants you here." Kaz was stunned. For years, she believed that Kylie had simply walked away and met with an unfortunate accident. She hadn't known about the tension, the bullying, or the suggestion that Kylie was emotionally distressed. Nor was she aware of the inconsistencies in the stories told to police, or that Kylie's personal belongings had been left behind. Quote, "There are so many things that don't add up." She left her stuff behind. After the alert was put out, she'd been gone quite a few hours, so if she was travelling or leaving, she could have made some headway. The release of the statements intensified Kaz's drive to uncover the truth. While some theorised that Kylie may have taken her own life due to mental health issues, a notion that Kaz refuses to accept, others suspected foul play. Quote, "There were suggestions she was struggling mentally, but even if that were the case, you can't bury yourself." She also questioned why more wasn't done immediately after the disappearance to explore the darker, more sinister possibilities. Quote, "It just became this sort of, have we heard anything? Have we heard anything? It sucks, but I virtually had no involvement." Determined to make up for lost time, Kaz has leaned heavily into social media in recent years to revive public interest in Kylie's case. In addition to maintaining the Facebook page, she now runs an Instagram account and a TikTok channel that has grown to nearly 10,000 followers. Her efforts were inspired in part by American advocate Sarah Turney, whose own sister Alyssa disappeared under eerily similar circumstances in Phoenix, Arizona. Through TikTok, Kaz reached a wider audience in a matter of weeks than she had in over a decade on Facebook. She also initiated a podcast titled Voices of the Lost to shed light on the disappearance of her sister, which delves into Kylee-Ann's life, her family's experiences, and the ongoing search for answers, in several episodes titled Diary of a Dead Girl. The podcast and social media are crucial platforms for raising awareness and gathering information to help resolve the mystery surrounding the teen's disappearance. Kaz uses her platform to highlight the emotional toll of not knowing, to point out the inconsistencies in witness accounts, and to ask anyone with even the smallest piece of information to come forward. Each year, especially between August's National Missing Persons Week and the anniversary of Kylie's disappearance in September, Kaz is flooded with emails, theories, and tips, some plausible, others purely speculative. She's careful not to feed into baseless rumours, instead choosing to catalogue and cross-reference logical claims in the hopes of one day presenting a solid timeline to the authorities. Quote, "There's a lot of misinformation out there. I'm not interested in false accusations. I just want to piece together a timeline, something that the police can actually work with." Kylee-Ann's disappearance remains a cold case. In 2010, 6 years after she vanished, a coroner concluded that she had likely died, though he could not determine how, when, or why. No new leads have emerged. Kylie's tax file number, bank accounts, and Medicare records remain untouched since the day she went missing. Her mother, Sue-Ann, continues to grieve, holding on to fading photographs and memories. Her father died without ever knowing what became of his youngest daughter. Kaz, now the family's main voice and advocate, is unwavering. Quote, "Someone has to know something. It doesn't have to be someone at the party. It could be someone who saw a girl walking along Armadale Road kicking rocks. Something seemingly insignificant could be everything." Through sheer determination, emotional resilience, and the power of digital media, Kylee-Ann Schaffer has transformed from a bystander into a warrior for truth. Her mission is clear: to find out what happened to her sister, to bring her home, and to ensure that no other family endures the same heartbreak in silence. Quote, "I have no doubt she is deceased," Kaz says with sobering clarity. "I may be wrong, and God knows I hope I am, but raising awareness will hopefully help, because I don't want anyone to go through this ever again. I am not seeking revenge. I just want to bring my sister home." In February of 2021, the New South Wales Police Force introduced a familial DNA pilot program aimed at aiding investigations into long-term missing persons cases. The family of Kylee-Ann expressed hope that this initiative might provide new leads. Her mother, Sue-Ann, supported the program and planned to submit her DNA, hoping it could eventually offer answers regarding her daughter's disappearance. Sadly, no further progress has been made in the case since. When she disappeared, Kylee-Ann Schaffer was 19 years old. She is described as a Caucasian female with blonde hair and brown eyes, standing at 5'5" tall with a solid build and a medium complexion. She was last seen wearing a dark blue or black t-shirt and a pair of brown trousers. If alive, she would be turning 40 years old in August of 2025. Those with any information regarding the disappearance of Kylee-Ann Schaffer are urged to contact Australian Crime Stoppers at 1800 333 000. No detail is too small. It's never too late to come forward.